At just 18 years old, Princess Leonor of Spain is already one of the youngest heirs to a vast royal fortune anywhere in the world. As the eldest daughter of King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia, she is expected to become the future Queen of Spain and inherit not just a centuries-old crown, but the enormous symbolic and economic power of the Spanish monarchy. Today, we're taking a closer look at how she lives, how she's being prepared to rule, and what life really looks like behind palace walls for Princess Leonor of Spain. Princess Leonor de Bourbon y Ortiz was born on October 31st, 2005, in Madrid. When she arrived, her father was still Crown Prince, widely known as the Prince of Asturias, and her grandfather Juan Carlos was a reigning King of Spain. That gave her a unique position in European royalty. Like the young Queen Elizabeth II once did, she has lived with both a sitting monarch and a former monarch in her immediate family. But Leonor's path to the throne is not just a fairy tale story. It's unfolding under the shadow of controversy and scandal that reshaped the Spanish royal family. A big part of her future responsibility is cleaning up a mess she didn't create. Her grandfather, King Juan Carlos, abdicated in 2014 after a series of scandals that badly damaged the reputation of the Spanish monarchy. The trouble really exploded in 2012 during what many in Spain now call the elephant scandal. At the height of a deep economic crisis, while Spain was suffering through a severe recession, Juan Carlos secretly flew to Botswana for a luxury safari trip with his longtime companion Karina, Zeus and Wittgenstein. During that trip, the king, who was at the time honorary president of the Spanish branch of the World Wildlife Fund, was photographed after shooting an elephant, the image of a king killing big game in Africa. While his country struggled and unemployment soared, outraged the public. To make matters worse, there was no Spanish diplomatic representation on the trip. He was effectively off the radar, far from his official duties. When he emerged from hospital after breaking his hip on that same trip, reporters shouted questions about his health. Instead of focusing on his injury, he issued a brief apology that became famous. "I'm very sorry. I made a mistake. It won't happen again." But the damage was already done. The controversy never fully went away, and under growing pressure over financial and personal scandals, Juan Carlos eventually stepped down in 2014 in favor of his son, now King Felipe VI. Since then, Felipe has worked hard to rebuild trust in the Spanish monarchy, emphasizing transparency, integrity, and a more modern image. And Princess Leonor, as his heir, is central to that strategy. Even at a young age, she has become one of the most visible faces of the Spanish royal family, carefully representing the crown at official events and public engagements. Behind the public image, her education has been planned with almost military precision. Princess Leonor first attended Santa Maria de los Rosales, an exclusive school in Madrid that her father also went to. The Spanish royal family has always tried to keep the princess's early childhood as normal as possible, given the circumstances, and that school gave her a relatively low-key start surrounded by other children rather than private tutors. In 2021, however, she made a major move. Leonor enrolled at UWC Atlantic College in Glamorgan, Wales, a famous international boarding school often nicknamed the Hippie Hogwarts for future royals and world leaders. She's following in the footsteps of other European heirs who have studied there. At UWC Atlantic, she's studying a 2-year international baccalaureate program. The fees are estimated to run between $92,000 and $110,000 across the full program, and the campus is packed with state-of-the-art facilities. There are modern classrooms, assembly halls, different dining rooms, an indoor swimming pool, beautiful common areas, and even outdoor spaces like a private theater where students can perform. Despite being heir to the Spanish throne, Leonor lives much like other students there. She shares a dormitory with 3 other girls from different parts of the world, learning to adapt to a multicultural environment far from Madrid. The Spanish royal household keeps her daily life at school very private, but we know students are encouraged to take part in theater, music, and community service. You can easily imagine her joining in school plays or musical events, enjoying a brief taste of normal teenage life away from the intense focus on the Spanish crown. Her parents and the government clearly see this as an investment, not just in her education, but in the future stability of the Spanish monarchy. The idea is simple. The future Queen of Spain should understand the world, not just her own country. But as soon as she finishes her schooling in Wales, the tone of her preparation becomes much more serious. By law and by tradition, as the future head of state and commander-in-chief, Princess Leonor of Spain must complete military training. After she leaves UWC Atlantic College, Leonor will begin a demanding 3-year program across the Spanish Armed Forces. First, she will spend a year at the General Military Academy in Zaragoza, just as her father, King Felipe VI, did. From there, she will move on to the Naval School, where she will train with the Spanish Navy and sail on the historic training ship Juan Sebastián Elcano. Finally, she will complete her military preparation at the General Air Academy, learning about the Air Force. Once she becomes queen, she will hold the title of Supreme Commander of the Spanish Armed Forces. This training isn't symbolic. It's designed so that she understands every branch of the military she will one day lead. After those 3 years, the plan is for her to enroll in university, likely studying a field like international relations or political science, much like her father. That will help her learn to navigate diplomacy, work with governments at different levels, and represent Spain on the world stage. For a teenager, it's a huge weight to carry. But so far, Princess Leonor has shown discipline and composure well beyond her years. Her public appearances are carefully measured, her speech is polished, and her body language calm and respectful. She is clearly aware of the expectations on her shoulders. Now, let's talk about where she actually lives when she is in Spain. While King Felipe and Queen Letizia are very protective of their daughter's privacy, we do know quite a bit about the palaces and residences tied to the Spanish royal family. The most famous is the Royal Palace of Madrid, one of the largest royal residences in Europe. Although it is the official residence of the Spanish monarch, the family does not actually live there day to day. Instead, it's primarily used for state ceremonies, official receptions, and important events. The Royal Palace covers around 1 million square feet and has more than 3,400 rooms. Built on the orders of King Felipe V and completed in 1764, it is a showcase of Grand Baroque architecture. The interior is filled with ornate sculptures, tapestries, frescoes, and priceless works of art. Visitors can tour selected routes through the palace, although not all rooms are open at once because of its sheer size. Some of the most impressive spaces include the rooms of King Charles III, with their beautifully painted murals in the Royal Chapel, where delicate ceiling paintings and religious art create a striking atmosphere. The Royal Chapel also preserves historic documents, including the proclamation speech of King Felipe VI, and very likely will one day keep Princess Leonor's own proclamation speech when she is declared queen. Day to day, however, Leonor has grown up at the Zarzuela Palace complex, just outside Madrid. Within that complex is a pavilion, a more private residence built in 1999 when Felipe was still prince. He moved into the pavilion in 2002, and even after becoming king in 2014, he chose to remain there with Queen Letizia and their daughters rather than relocating fully into the main palace. The pavilion is a large but relatively discreet mansion. Around 11 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, a swimming pool, offices, meeting rooms, and family living areas spread across 2 floors. The lower level is used for official meetings and receptions, while the upper level is reserved for the family's private life. It gives Princess Leonor space to grow up away from constant cameras, while still being close enough to her father's offices at Zarzuela to see him work as head of state. In addition to the Royal Palace of Madrid and Zarzuela, the Spanish royal family also uses several other residences: a historic palace in Seville, a summer home in Palma de Mallorca, and Albanese Palace in Barcelona for official visits in Catalonia. Even so, the Spanish monarchy is considered relatively modest compared to some other royal families, and it's widely expected that Leonor will continue the tradition of handling the monarchy's wealth and estates carefully, especially after the controversies of the Juan Carlos years. One of the most endearing aspects of Princess Leonor's life is her close relationship with her younger sister, Infanta Sofia. Sofia was born in 2007, making Leonor a big sister at just 2 years old. The 2 royal sisters are often seen together at public events, chatting, whispering, or simply walking hand in hand. They appear genuinely close and supportive of one another. Many people find their titles confusing. In Spain, The title of prince or princess is reserved only for the direct heir to the throne. That's why Leonor is Princess of Asturias, while her sister is styled Infanta Sofia rather than Princess Sofia. It's not a sign of favoritism. It's just how the Spanish monarchy is structured. The sisters carried out their first joint official engagement in 2021 as part of the A Tree for Europe campaign. Dressed casually in jeans, t-shirts, and sneakers, they joined about 30 classmates to plant trees and promote environmental awareness. Royal watchers love the images of the two future women of the Spanish royal family quietly doing their part for climate initiatives. At the Princess of Asturias Awards in 2022, cameras caught them holding hands during the ceremony. The simple gesture sparked a wave of positive comments on social media, with many saying their visible affection and unity could be a powerful asset for the future of the Spanish crown. Of course, Princess Leonor of Spain is not just a daughter and a sister. She is already a central figure in the institution itself. Her full list of titles reflects Spain's regional diversity. In addition to Princess of Asturias, she is Princess of Girona and Princess of Viana, Duchess of Montblanc, Countess of Cervera, and Lady of Balaguer. Each title connects her to a different historic region of Spain, from Catalonia to Navarre. On King Felipe VI's 50th birthday, he marked the occasion by granting Leonor the Order of the Golden Fleece, one of the most prestigious and exclusive chivalric honors in Europe. She had technically received it in 2015, but it was formally presented in a solemn ceremony in 2018, when she was just 12 years old. Only a handful of women in history have ever been given that distinction. It was a clear signal that she is being prepared for the role of future queen. Shortly after, she stepped in front of the cameras for one of the most important moments of her young life, her first official speech. On October 31st, 2018, her 13th birthday, Princess Leonor spoke at an event marking the 40th anniversary of Spain's 1978 Constitution, held at the Cervantes Institute in Madrid. In front of her parents, political leaders, and a national audience, she calmly read the first article of the Constitution, reaffirming the principles that underpin Spain's democracy and constitutional monarchy. It was a symbolic passing of the torch, much like the early public appearances of a young Queen Elizabeth II. Almost a year later, she delivered another major address at the Princess of Asturias Awards in Oviedo, an annual ceremony that bears her own title. Speaking from the stage of the historic Campoamor Theater, she praised the winners and spoke of her commitment to serving Spain. For many, that was the moment they truly saw her step into the role of heir to the Spanish crown. Her responsibilities have continued to grow. At 15, Leonor carried out her first solo engagement without her parents, returning to the Cervantes Institute in Madrid. There, she deposited a copy of the Spanish Constitution she had read publicly in 2018, along with a copy of Don Quixote that she and Infanta Sofia had read together for World Book Day in 2020. Both items were placed in the official state archives as a historic record of her early public life. The Spanish royal household highlighted the symbolism of this moment in a special statement. Her first solo duty was directly linked to her first public speech, connecting her personal journey to Spain's constitutional history. Leonor has also joined her father for important ceremonies, such as the Order of Civil Merit, which recognizes individuals, both Spanish citizens and foreigners, who have rendered exceptional service to Spain. In 2019, and again in 2021, she stood beside King Felipe VI as he honored health workers, factory employees, food producers, and transport workers who kept the country going during the COVID-19 pandemic. By taking part in those ceremonies, she's not just being seen, she's being trained. One day, she will be the one conferring those honors as Queen and Grand Master of these state orders. All of this is happening while Leonor is still living with the complicated legacy of her grandfather. Just as Queen Elizabeth II had to step into the spotlight after the abdication of her uncle Edward VIII, Leonor has been pushed forward by the abdication and later exile of Juan Carlos I. In 2014, when Leonor was just 8 years old, Juan Carlos gave up the throne to her father. In the years that followed, he left Spain altogether amid mounting investigations into his finances and business dealings, eventually settling in Abu Dhabi. His departure and the scandals surrounding him have attracted criticism and political pressure that inevitably touches his granddaughter's image. At the same age Elizabeth became heir apparent, Leonor suddenly found herself the new princess of Asturias and direct successor. Like Elizabeth, she is considered the more reserved and serious of the two sisters, while Sophia is often described as more outgoing, drawing an easy comparison to the dynamic between Queen Elizabeth II and her sister Princess Margaret. In 2021, when the royal household announced that Leonor would be attending UWC Atlantic College in Wales, one Spanish radio station caused an uproar with a provocative headline suggesting that Leonor is leaving Spain like her grandfather. The comparison between a teenager going to school abroad and a former king choosing voluntary exile was quickly condemned as unfair and misleading. The station later apologized and removed the headline. In reality, Leonor returns to Spain regularly during school holidays and immediately resumes her royal duties. During Easter break in April 2022, for example, she carried out her second solo engagement, visiting a cultural institution and meeting with young people. Unlike Juan Carlos, who has stayed away to protect Felipe's image, Leonor remains visibly and actively tied to the Spanish royal family and the Spanish people. So what does all this mean for her lifestyle and for the future of the Spanish monarchy? Yes, Princess Leonor of Spain has grown up surrounded by palaces, priceless art, and the security of a royal household with $1 billion infrastructure behind it. She enjoys private residences, summer palaces, elite schooling, and the kind of protection that comes with being part of the Spanish royal family. But more than anything, her life has been shaped by preparation and responsibility. From UWC Atlantic College in Wales to her upcoming military training in Zaragoza, at sea and in the air, everything is designed to mold her into a modern, well-educated, disciplined head of state. She carries centuries of tradition, the weight of past scandals, and the expectations of a country still debating the role of the Spanish monarchy in the 21st century. As she grows older, takes on more solo engagements, and eventually begins her military and university studies, the world will be watching to see what kind of queen she becomes. Will she redefine the Spanish royal family for a new generation, or follow closely in her father's footsteps as a quiet, stabilizing figure? Only time will tell. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the life and future of Princess Leonor of Spain, let us know in the comments what surprised you most: her education, her palaces, her military training, or her early public speeches. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next look inside the lives of the world's most powerful and fascinating families.